Hello. More thoughts. This one I'll try and keep shorter, and it's my Easter revelation one year. The first year that I observed a Lenten fasting and prayed and wondered what I would find in Revelation, and that was the year that Oliver was born, my first son, and holding him in my arms on Easter Sunday at my home church back in Owasso, Michigan, carrying proudly my fifth generation of our family to go through those doors. I sat basking in Easter Sunday. Oh, and it was lovely. I loved it. I always love Easter. Love the feeling in the air. But as I'm sitting there, looking across the crowd, listening to the sermon, they're talking about the amazing of Christ's divinity and the resurrection and all of that, which is true and amazing. But what caught me was the idea that the priest, or the well, the priest, it was a minister, but was talking about how it was, or wasn't mentioning rather, the humanity of Christ. And maybe Easter is a weird time to talk about that because it's all about the miraculous resurrection and whatnot. But for me, what struck me was the humanness of it. And how, if Christ really was 100% human, as he is 100% God, then just like you or I, it was a matter of faith. When he got up there, when he went with the Pharisees that night, after Gethsemane, he knew that things were going to go bad. But he didn't know any more certainly than we do that God is real and this was going to work out. Maybe he did. But from a human perspective, it's easy to see how scary it would have been, and how, even though, I've been praying my whole life, I've been talking to God this whole time, he's my Father, I accept all these things, but not everybody can always see those things, and people can't always, verify your reality on points of faith. And there are points when doubts, creep in. And I think maybe it would have been natural. Obviously in Gethsemane there were, if not doubts, reservations, and maybe on the cross he did have a moment of, I really hope this works, because this sucks, kind of thing. And we don't know where he was for those days when he was dead. He was in the tomb. Maybe his spirit was elsewhere. But we don't know. Some people theorize that was time spent away from God for the first time. But what theologically I believe, and what I would say I know, is that on Sunday morning, he took a breath after not for a long time. And he sat up. And in that moment, I think he experienced something that I believe all human beings love. Even if they wouldn't quantify it this way, even if they don't know these words, the vindication of one's deeply held beliefs. That's what it was on that day. And I think that's what all humans, they love to say, I told you so. They love to be right. We all do. Admit it. And on that day, that's what Jesus got to do. He got to wake up, step up off that slab, high five an angel or whatever, and it's like, I told you. I was right, and you're right. And you don't always know it, going into moments of faith like that. Scary things. Granted, I've never had to have anything that scary, but there are leaps of faith that I've made that have been terrifying. But when you land, and you realize that you leapt in that faith, it's like fire in your veins. I mean, being right's one thing, but being right about something in faith like that, something else entirely. Try it sometime.